Welcome to Let's Get Into It. I'm Kenyatta the Healer. I am Kenyatta the Architect. On this channel, we destroy and build simultaneously, for there can be no resurrection without destruction. Once again, I'm Kenyatta, but you will refer to me as Miss Kenyatta, Queen, Goddess, Empress, Ma'am, High Priestess, or whatever I tell you to refer to me as. I have no enemies. The enemies of God have been defeated, but if God is the creator of both the good and the evil, the light and the dark, God has no enemies. Ye are gods. As well, love and goodwill, taking care of within, eliminates that without. I will not tolerate anyone stalking me, harassing me, bullying me, or being common with me, or anyone who genuinely supports me on my platform. Affirmations and repeat. I am wonderful. I am marvelous. I am magnificent. I am splendid. I am perfect. I am thankful. I am grateful. I am loved. I am loved. I am loving. I am lovable. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wise. I am the master and creator of my own fate. I am the master and creator of my own destiny. I am my fate. I am my destiny. I am the all that is all that ever was and ever shall be. Confirmation. Sagittarius, this will be a reading for you for May 2025, general reading for Sagittarius. But first, Sagittarius, check out my community tab. There you will find the link to my memberships. Hit that link, watch that video, and there you will learn about the 4 tiers that I have for my memberships. Come on over and be a member here at LGI. Let's get into it as well. You will find the links to my Oracle decks on MakePlayingCards.com, the Fitness Oracle Speaks, as well as the Financial Prosperity Oracle Speaks. Sagittarius, I will be doing your reading from the Rider-Waite. Get you some good shuffles in, and we will begin. All right, Sagittarius. Once again, Sagittarius, May 2025. Give you a nice 3-way split, Sagittarius. 2 shuffles. 1. 2. All right, Sagittarius, let's get into it. Here we have the Hierophant in reverse, Sagittarius. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. 4 of Wands upright. Sagittarius, 3 of Pentacles in reverse, Sagittarius, and here we have 6 of Wands, 6 of Swords, upright. All right, Sagittarius, let's get into it. Sagittarius, first word I heard was sadness. There's some sadness hovering around you, Sagittarius, okay? But Sagittarius, don't worry about it, okay? I kind of feel like, Sagittarius, yours is not the traditional way. You're different, okay? You know, you beat to the rhythm of your own drum, okay? Sagittarius, not everybody else's drum, but your own drum, okay? And that's just how you are. Now, you might try to live that kind of lifestyle, traditional lifestyle, okay? But you're not built upon that, I'm hearing. Okay, that's not your rock. That's not your foundation. In other words, really what's being said here is that's not who you are. So, stop, okay? And as a result of that, life may have been challenging for you. If you're not a very traditional person, but you've tried to live that way, okay, you may have tried to, look at all them confirmations and shit, okay? You may have tried to live a traditional lifestyle based upon family, okay? Maybe how most of the people in your family lived, or maybe trying to do what they wanted you to do, but Sagittarius, that's simply not who you are. And as a result, it may kind of seem like in people's eyes, Sagittarius, that you haven't really done anything, that you haven't really built anything. You know what I'm saying? But see, they're looking from their viewpoint, from their perspective of expecting you to be, traditional like them, going to college or some kind of certification. You graduate from high school, get that paper going, and, go get you a traditional job. Get you a good job, pay your bills, okay? But you may be just different, you not on you don't walk that beaten path. Okay, but I feel like you have tried to walk that beaten path, but you often find yourself slipping off and falling off that motherfucker because it's not who you are. Okay, you may not like that lifestyle. Okay, sitting in somebody's goddamn office, for 8 hours, 9 hours. They say 8, but isn't really 9 hours. Okay, but you got your hour lunch and all of that type of thing, and it may be just boring to you. It does not work for you, and you might even, Sagittarius, it doesn't necessarily have to be an office job. I'm just speaking, saying in that vein. You may have even, Sagittarius, You might get fired a lot or quit a lot, okay, because you tried them traditional jobs. Okay, so you may have been one, you do your thing, you come in late. Okay, you didn't do the paperwork the way the paper told you to do it. You like it didn't make no damn sense. Well, I gotta do it that way. It got done. You understand what I'm saying? You didn't sweep them up that floor this particular way, and people around you, okay, on your jobs and whatnot, may not really care for you, may not like you, okay, because you are not traditional. Your mind is different. It's set up different, okay, is what I'm hearing, okay. And so you may have had, troubles on the job where you may have, like, gotten fired. Or shit, say, well, fuck it, one day I quit. And people may be looking at you, goddamn, Sagittarius, why do you keep doing this? Making you feel like you're irresponsible. You're just irresponsible, okay? And, that type of thing. Blah, blah, blah. And that's just really not who you are. You're not necessarily irresponsible, okay? And whatnot. You're just trying to live and trying to put a square peg into a round hole, or a round peg into a square hole, okay? All right, let's continue on, Sagittarius. Two of Cups, upright, Sagittarius. Knight of Cups, upright. Two of Pentacles, upright. Okay, and the Two of Wands in reverse. See, and one of the issues here for you, okay, all right, because you may have tried to live this traditional life and walk this traditional path, that's really not who you are. Okay, you may have tried to build a life around, okay, I'm going to do this is what everybody says I should do, this is what the family says I should do, this is what they've done, my dreams, whoever I really am, has not ever been able to become a reality. So I'm going to walk this walk and talk this talk and do this thing or whatever, okay. You probably may have made a family, okay? And or you may have just met someone along the way, okay, some kind of relationship formed here, okay, where you offer some love, a couple love was offered to you, okay, but based on trying to be someone that you're not. And this person, whoever you offered this couple love to, or they offered it to, however it went, okay, was expecting you to be a particular way, and the particular way that they were expecting you to be is not who you were. You were acting out of trying to live a traditional life in the traditional realm, and that's not really who you are. And the crazy thing here is, Sagittarius, is like, I hate to say this, but from what I'm seeing, it's like something that you shouldn't have done. You should have turned your back on this. This is not my person. This is not my way, and this is who they're expecting me to be. Okay, when in your heart, maybe they met you on a job, but you told them, okay, this is where I work, this is what I do, and they're thinking, because people factor all of that in when they go into a relationship. Okay, what kind of work do you do? Like I was talking to somebody at my job today, right? And just so happened, I had a t-shirt on about cowboys, and she said, oh, do you have any horses? I don't have any horses, but I love horses. Okay, I just think they are so majestic, okay? That's probably like my favorite animal. That I just love them. They're just built beautifully, just love them. And when I was telling her no, but when I was young, we used to go to these camps, okay, these overnight camps for like a week where they had horses. So we had to ride the horses. When I was always scared to get up on them motherfuckers. But I had to. You understand what I'm saying? So I get up on the horse, I'll be scared as shit, But as I got older, and one of the camps, the last day of camp, they would have a rodeo, okay? And I used to love to watch, like, people. I was so afraid to get on the horse, but I got on them because I had to get on them, okay? But I would watch, like, people my age get on those horses and just run, let's watch with them horses just fly down that field or whatever in that rodeo. And I always been amazed watching, like, one of my favorite movies when I was younger was called The Black Stallion. I don't know if anybody remembers that out there, but the lady who raised me, she took me and my sibling. I think there was 3 parts, The Black Stallion, but I love it. And watching that horse just fly up and down that beach, and then sometimes all you could hear is the way they would do it, the movie Magic, all you hear was the galloping, of the horses, the hoofs ka-dum, 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 ka-dum. But anyway, I love that, okay? And I used to have this beautiful picture of two horses. I love horses. But anyway, I told her, I don't have any. She said, I have some horses. And she told me, she said, I live on a farm. And I was like, oh my God, where did you go to school? Because I'm thinking she went way out because she lived way out, where in farmland and whatnot. She went right to school in the city. And I said, well, you're not a farm girl. She said, no, her grandparents owned a farm. I said, so you are a farm girl. So she said she just loves farming and whatnot. She's a teacher. And so, but I asked her, I said, but she wasn't a she that's what it was. She thought about being a vet. That's what she wanted to do, be a vet, okay, of like large animals, cows, horses. But who was it? I can't remember who she told me she was talking to, but they told her, before she took that route, they were like, oh, you need to look at people who are working in that field. And she did. And one person she met, he was married 5 times. Another person she met, these people had problems with their marriages and their homes. And I was like, well, wow, what's the connection? And she said, because your life isn't yours. You can be called in at any time. You don't know when the horse going to have delivery. You don't know, anytime. So it was like, that was the one thing that people in that field sacrificed. Okay, their home life wasn't ever. And she said, no, I want to be married. I want to have a family. I want to have home. I want my home intact. So she didn't go that route. Okay, she wasn't a teacher first. She was a field biologist first, which I thought was like fucking interesting as hell. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so then she was talking about, she got pregnant and she realized she couldn't be out there laying on the ground with her work, her field biology. So she ended up going into teaching. But anyway, what I'm trying to say here to you, okay, Sagittarius. So I feel like you may have met this person when you were doing something that really wasn't in your heart and mind to do, but you were doing it because you felt like, okay, maybe this is, this traditional world is what I'm supposed to be. This is what people say, confirmation, so on and so forth. And so this is who this person is expecting. So like I was saying about that lady, her boyfriend, her college boyfriend, that's who she married. And 17 years later, they're still married. And she was just saying, that he was taking what she wanted to do into consideration, as well as she was taking what he wanted to do and be into consideration as well. Okay, people, look at these things. So here it is. You meet someone, it looks like here, when you're doing something that you really don't want to do, really don't want to be, but you feel like you're going to try and do it anyway, when really something else in your mind, one of them layers of your mind is saying, you're going to put this motherfucker. You're not going to do this. Okay, so it looks like from what I'm seeing here, this is something that there shouldn't have been an offering of love, but just an offering of, friendship. Because you just kind of juggling. I don't want to do this. And I don't know, did you even really want to be with this person? Okay, did you want this, I'm here collaboration, this communication, this a bond here of this friendship here, this cup, and I'm not quite sure from looking at this who offered, somebody made an offer. Okay, I don't think it was equal necessarily at first, okay? And you knew, I don't want this job, I don't want this kind of work. Okay. I really don't even want this person. All right, let's continue on, Sagittarius. There it is. Here we have the Tower card, upright. Okay. 5 of Swords, upright, Sagittarius. Okay. King of Wands, upright. Okay. There you have it. This is not, you're not living in your world, okay, who you are and who you are meant to be, okay? And I do feel like the Tower came in or has come into your life as a result of this, okay? You may be, I'm not sure, Sagittarius. Let me pull some more what I'm seeing. Okay. 8 of Swords, upright. The Devil, upright, Sagittarius. The Death card, upright. I feel, Sagittarius, I kind of feel like, okay, I feel like this is the same Sagittarius energy that I picked up on in the last Sagittarius reading. This is the energy that I pick up on often for Sagittarius ever since I had my older channel years ago. So it's kind of the same shit. Okay. I feel, Sagittarius, that family. Like my friend said, that tribal shit. That's what he says. But I feel like family here is the issue with you. Okay? Doing and becoming what they insist you do and become. Now, they may not tell you, no, you can't go do that. Now, they might. Okay. But they may not say those words, but they may say, like, if you say, express, well, I got dreams to do something that's not on their radar, and they don't look at it as anything valuable, and they see it as something silly or small or whatever. Okay, and it's not in line with who they are, and they're how they want to be seen by others. They will, I feel like, gaslight you, or maybe say things to put you down, or to put it down, the idea. Oh, that's silly. Okay. Why would you want to do that? Okay. And this may have gone on for years and years and years. Okay. But again, it's like it's the same energy I pulled this before for Sagittarius. Okay. This King of Wands energy here. Okay. This fire, this you're supposed to be, I feel like maybe your path was to be, a leader. But I keep hearing off the beaten path. And this off the beaten path would have taken you to your truth of a King of Wands upright. I feel as though, sometimes I don't like to always blame others, but we see motherfuckers sabotage the hell out of you, okay? Especially family, mothers, parents, or caregivers, or people who have a close proximity to you, okay, and can know you. They can say things, do things, project things, make you feel a certain way, okay? And here you are thinking that something is wrong with you when it's not. I'm not saying something's wrong with them, except trying to keep somebody from living their truth. But it does come to a point where we are responsible for ourselves, regardless of what has been done to us. We just have to take the control, of our own life. But I damn sure feel like you were kept in some kind of mental prison, some kind of illusion, okay, was placed upon you by those around you, those who claim to have loved you, okay, this, and kept you in some kind of, I don't want to read this no more. I don't want to read this no more. For Sagittarius. I've been reading this way too fucking long. Okay. I can't say every single Sagittarius reading I've ever done, okay? But enough. Majority of it. I don't want to read it anymore. Okay. So, who you are, and you know who you are. You go away and figure yourself out. And work and get it together. There's been enough readings. This shit is giving me a headache. I don't mean no harm. And if you're a Sagittarius and you're watching and none of this applies to them, it's not directed at you. It's honestly not. But after a while, it's like, somebody goes to the doctor. They got, I don't know, whatever kind of disease. I don't know, high blood pressure, some shit. And the doctor say, hey, this is what you got to do. To, heal that or relieve that or whatever the case. And they keep going for their checkup. They go. They make sure they go. But they have not done one single solitary thing that the doctor has told them to do. After a while, it's like, then you don't want to help yourself. You don't. Doctor gonna be like, doctor gonna still take their money, but I'm not taking nobody's money. I'm just saying. And then there's some doctors who won't. Some doctors have some integrity. You understand what I'm saying about what they do? And just like, hell, if you're not gonna take care of yourself. The checkup going don't heal your motherfucking ass. Okay. But you know that. I'm going to read this last time, and I'm not going to read it anymore. I will continue to do Sagittarius. I'm not going to read this. If I start reading this shit, next time I do Sagittarius, I'm going to stop in the middle of the fucking reading, clear out the energy the best way I can. I don't give a fuck how many times over. You are an adult. And you're not just an adult. You are damn near 60 years old. All right? Codependency. This is what they wanted. This is what you got. These are who these people are. This is your family. This is your home. Now, if you want to stay in it, then you stay in it. It's really okay. It's your choice. We are free will, well, supposed to be, I guess, free will beings to the best of our ability. You have to change yourself. Your family is not going to change. It's not for them. They are who they are. You know how they say, nothing changes. Don't shit change unless it change. We have to be the ones to change it. Because otherwise you are going to stay stuck. Never actualizing. If that's what you want to do and that's what you want to be, you may have some daddy issues, goddamn, I know you do. Okay? I'm not making fun by saying that. I'm not reading this anymore for you. And you think I don't know that you watch. I'm not doing it anymore. Now, if I have to, like I done read Scruffy and your cousin and all them other people by name, then I will. In order for you to move on. I'm not reading this no more. That shit is way, it is. I got a fucking headache. And trust me, I understand. It's difficult and it's challenging, especially when illusions have been placed on over you. And people, it's your family. Family. Don't mean shit. And you'll be the one that at the family reunions they're in the corner talking about and laughing at. Sagittarius, I will not be reading for you any longer. Now, you may not be watching it now, but you're going to watch it. Okay? Look at their love. The Inner Garden Oracle, goddamn. The stone is rose quartz. In the eyes of lovers, everything is beautiful. All right. I certainly hope that resonated with some Sagittarius. I ask that you all like, share, and subscribe to those who have subscribed to my channel. Thank you. If you have not, but to watch my videos, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, thumbs up, comment, come over, see what's happening here. Let's get into it. I'm not reading for you anymore. We have to, it's time to change. It's time to grow. And if you don't want to, there are, I know all the people who done followed me on my YouTube channel and think I don't know the local folks and who have family and folk and the church folk and all that who think I have no clue. Hey, why now we Christians? And you're watching, get every chance you get. Is she on tonight? Who is she reading for? And all of that. I'm not reading this any longer for you. You are loved. But what I was trying to say is, I know that you have found, from watching my channel, you have found other readers here on YouTube that you subscribe to under fake accounts. Watch you in particular, sir. Watch them. Don't come back here. I'm not reading for you anymore. All right. For the rest of the Sagittarius, you're gonna get your reading, okay? But we ain't gonna. That ain't the only energy Sagittarius is in, goddamn. It's a lot more to Sagittarius than that. All right? So we're gonna get y'all on and popping after tonight, okay? If that motherfucker comes back and I read that shit again, I'm gonna stop in the middle of reading. I'm gonna call his name out and just do his reading for him, okay? Like I do for the other folks, since they're not brave enough to come get a reading, all right? But nevertheless, certainly I know it resonated with some Sagittarius. But for the rest, I ask that you like, share, and subscribe. Watch if you watch my videos, but you're not subscribed, hit that notification, hit that subscribe button, that notification button. Come like, comment, share, all that good stuff that I always say. I can't remember the end of it right now, all right? But anyway, Sagittarius and everyone else, you all have favor. Peace.